losing out money. You got to take drugs. You're going through so much shit to try and deal with life. You are literally, it's an unhealthy space.
What happens when a Hollywood A-lister refuses to play by the unspoken rules of the entertainment industry? Terrence Howard just showed us. And it cost him roles, opportunities, and connections. But it might have saved him from becoming another victim on Diddy's growing list of accusers. Howard's viral takedown of Diddy reveals a disturbing pattern that stretches back years in the music mogul's career. The actor's refusal to bend over or compromise his man card pulls back the curtain on the power plays happening behind closed doors in celebrity mansions across Los Angeles. This isn't just celebrity gossip. It's a frightening glimpse into how power operates in Hollywood's inner circles. Patrick Bet-David's podcast became ground zero for a Hollywood bombshell when Terrence Howard, the Oscar-nominated actor known for his intense performances, unleashed a series of shocking claims about Sean Diddy Combs. The revelation dropped with nuclear force as Howard, visibly uncomfortable yet determined, recounted an incident that allegedly occurred years ago. His normally composed demeanor cracked as he described what was supposed to be a professional meeting that quickly veered into uncomfortable territory. Howard's body language spoke volumes during the interview. Leaning forward with furrowed brows, he maintained intense eye contact with Bet-David as if to emphasize the gravity of what he was about to share. His hands gesticulated more frantically than usual, a stark departure from the measured mannerisms fans associate with his on-screen personas. When mentioning Diddy's name, his voice dropped slightly, creating a palpable tension that radiated through the studio. For an actor of Howard's caliber, one who shared the screen with legends and earned critical acclaim for roles in Hustle and Flow and Iron Man, calling out someone with Diddy's industry muscle represents a massive risk. Diddy isn't just any music producer, he's a cultural juggernaut whose connections span entertainment, fashion, and business. Howard seemed acutely aware of this power imbalance, pausing several times as if weighing the potential backlash against his need to speak out. The most jarring part of Howard's account came when he described the so-called acting lessons that never materialized. According to Howard, these meetings at Diddy's residence featured minimal discussion about craft and technique. Instead, he recalled uncomfortable staring sessions where Diddy would allegedly fix his gaze on him in ways that felt inappropriate and predatory, rather than professional or instructive. Howard's voice cracked slightly when delivering the most explosive quote of the interview, "I'm not about to bend over and give up my man card for nobody." The studio fell silent as these words hung in the air. Howard's jaw tightened. His eyes narrowed, conveying both indignation at the memory and resolve in his decision to maintain his boundaries, regardless of potential career implications. Perhaps the most damning element of Howard's account involved his former assistant's warning. With visible discomfort etched across his face, Howard recounted how his assistant bluntly stated, "I think he's trying to KU," after observing Diddy's behavior. Howard's expression cycled through disbelief, anger, and vindication as he shared this detail, his hands gripping the armrests of his chair tightly enough to whiten his knuckles. During the most explosive moments of the interview, Howard's facial expressions betrayed a complex emotional landscape. His trademark intensity gave way to flashes of vulnerability when describing how uncomfortable the encounters made him feel. Yet there was also unmistakable anger simmering beneath the surface, particularly when alluding to what he believes were the career consequences of his refusal to play along with Diddy's alleged advances. The price Howard claims he paid professionally adds another disturbing dimension to his accusations. Without explicitly naming specific projects, he strongly implied that doors closed and opportunities vanished, following his rejection of what he perceived as Diddy's inappropriate behavior. His voice took on a wistful quality when referencing roles that mysteriously went to others, despite initial interest in him, suggesting a pattern of industry punishment for those unwilling to compromise. What makes Howard's account particularly explosive is how it aligns with other accusations currently swirling around Diddy. His detailed descriptions of being invited to private meetings under professional pretenses, only to encounter something entirely different, mirrors allegations in several recent lawsuits against the music mogul. Howard's willingness to attach his name and reputation to these claims represents a significant escalation in the growing scandal. Howard's bombshell isn't just another celebrity feud, it's potentially the key that unlocks what many are calling Diddy's entire prey. Howard's bombshell isn't just another celebrity feud. It's potentially the key that unlocks what many are calling Diddy's entire predatory operation. The mansion meetings described in shocking detail follow a disturbing pattern that multiple accusers have independently detailed. What starts as a professional opportunity apparently transforms into something far more sinister once the doors close. Industry insiders claim Diddy operated with a calculated blueprint for decades. According to 3 anonymous Hollywood veterans who spoke with TMZ, these mentorship meetings followed an eerily similar format: an initial discussion about business at the mansion entrance, followed by a slow migration to more private areas where the pretense of professional guidance would gradually dissolve. Everyone who's been in the game long enough has heard about Diddy's infamous mansion invites, shared one music producer on Twitter who requested to remain unnamed. It was like an open secret, the acting classes or career guidance meetings that somehow never involved much acting or guidance. The timeline of these alleged incidents with Howard coincides with a critical juncture in his career. Fresh off his breakout role in the 2005 film Hustle and Flow, Howard was precisely the type of rising talent Diddy allegedly targeted, established enough to be valuable, yet still seeking bigger opportunities in a cutthroat industry where the right connections could make or break careers. What makes these accusations particularly disturbing is the power imbalance at play. Diddy had built an empire spanning music, fashion, and entertainment by the early 2000s, positioning himself as a gatekeeper who could open doors across multiple industries. For actors like Howard looking to expand their reach, a partnership with someone of Diddy's stature represented potential career gold, the perfect bait for the alleged trap. Multiple sources claim Diddy's tactics followed a methodical grooming process. The initial invitation always came wrapped in legitimate business packaging. Discussions about film projects, record deals, or fashion collaborations. Only after establishing the professional pretext would the atmosphere reportedly shift, often aided by alcohol and increasing isolation from others. The behavior Howard described, the intense staring, the lack of actual business talk, that's textbook intimidation and boundary testing, explained Dr. Melissa Conroy, a psychologist specializing in power dynamics in entertainment. It's about gauging how far someone can be pushed, seeing if they'll tolerate increasingly inappropriate behavior because of what's at stake professionally. Social media has exploded with industry players claiming they've witnessed similar patterns. Watched it happen to a friend 15 years ago, wrote one verified music executive on Instagram. Same exact setup. Mansion meeting about a collaboration that quickly turned into something else entirely. My friend walked out and mysteriously got blackballed from 3 major labels the following month. The leverage allegedly employed was sophisticated. According to entertainment attorney Sarah Michaels, who has represented several clients in harassment cases against major industry figures, these power players rarely make explicit threats. Instead, they create an understanding that compliance equals opportunity and resistance equals career obstacles. It's insidiously effective because it's nearly impossible to prove in court. The alleged grooming tactics reportedly escalated through careful stages. First came the isolation, private meetings away from witnesses. Then boundary testing through inappropriate staring or comments to gauge reaction. For those who didn't immediately object, the behavior would allegedly escalate further. Most crucially, the entire interaction was designed with plausible deniability. Nothing explicitly stated that couldn't be later dismissed as a misunderstanding. Former music executive David Porter, name changed, told Rolling Stone, "The genius of this approach is that victims feel crazy for even objecting. They're left wondering, did I misread that look? Am I overreacting?" Meanwhile, their career prospects hang in the balance. For Terrence Howard, those career prospects hanging in the balance weren't just theoretical. They were million-dollar roles that mysteriously disappeared after he rejected Diddy's advances. When Howard stood firm on his principles, his phone stopped ringing. A former casting director who worked on several major studio projects confirmed to Entertainment Weekly that Howard was blacklisted from at least 3 major film franchises between 2008 and 2012. There were directors specifically told not to consider him, despite his name being on their wish lists, the source revealed. The fallout was immediate and devastating. After Iron Man, Howard was notably replaced by Don Cheadle in the sequel, a decision that shocked fans and industry insiders alike. While officially attributed to salary disputes, Howard has consistently maintained there were darker forces at play. "I was making $4.5 million on the first one, and they wanted to pay me $1 million for the second," Howard explained in a 2015 interview with People. "But that wasn't the real reason. Certain people have power in this town, and if you cross them, they'll make sure you never work again." Howard's career trajectory stands in stark contrast to contemporaries who played the game. While actors like Terrence were sidelined, others who attended the same networking events with powerful figures mysteriously landed major roles despite less impressive resumes. Entertainment attorney Jennifer Rothman told Variety, "There's an unspoken understanding in Hollywood that certain relationships need to be cultivated if you want sustained success. Those who refuse to engage often find themselves isolated. The financial toll has been brutal." By 2019, Howard publicly declared he was done with acting after the conclusion of Empire, citing frustration with the industry. Court documents from his divorce proceedings revealed that despite starring in over 40 films, Howard's financial situation remained precarious. He reportedly earned just $5,800 per month after the first season of Empire, a pittance compared to what an Oscar-nominated actor of his caliber should command. Howard's principles extended beyond refusing specific advances. He also declined roles that compromised his personal values. "I turned down 6 different gay roles because that's not who I am," Howard stated in a controversial 2007 interview. "I won't pretend to be something I'm not, even if it means less work." This stance may have further limited his opportunities in an industry that increasingly embraced diverse storytelling. Howard's experience mirrors the broader pattern of intimidation that keeps Hollywood's darkest secrets hidden. Talent manager Sarah Rodriguez explained to The Hollywood Reporter, "For every Terrence Howard who speaks out, there are 20 others who stay silent because they've seen what happens to the ones who don't. The industry has countless ways to destroy careers without ever stating the real reason." What makes Howard's revelations about Diddy particularly significant is that they come from a male actor with substantial industry credibility. Former talent agent Michael Levine noted, "When women make these claims, there's often a dismissive attitude. But when someone like Howard speaks up, it forces people to confront the reality that this kind of exploitation transcends gender." The question remains, was standing up for his principles worth the career suicide? Howard himself addressed this in a rare 2021 interview. "I'd rather be broke with my dignity intact than wealthy and compromised. My grandmother raised me better than that." This defiance came at an enormous professional cost. But Howard maintains he'd make the same choice again. "Some things aren't for sale," he stated firmly. "Not then, not now, not ever." For Howard, the decision to speak out now about Diddy appears to be less about reviving his career and more about clearing his conscience. A source close to Howard told US Weekly, "He's financially stable now and not looking for a comeback. He just wants the truth to be known about why certain doors closed for him." The walls are closing in on Diddy as Terrence Howard's revelations join the growing mountain of accusations. With each new voice that speaks out, the music mogul's carefully constructed fortress weakens. Hollywood's code of silence is crumbling, and industry insiders are wondering who'll step forward next. The real question hanging over Hollywood isn't just about Diddy anymore. It's about how many other powerful figures are sweating, wondering if their past victims will find the courage to come forward. Will this be the tipping point that finally exposes the industry's darkest corners? Drop your thoughts below and hit subscribe for more bombshell celebrity exposés.